Season 2, Episode 4 of Breaking Bad, we go deep into the life of Jesse Pinkman and see his inner chaos begin to manifest in his outer life. The whole episode, Jesse finds himself facing a series of troubles that pushes him to the edge. We see him on the brink of losing everything as he desperately tries to navigate this treacherous world that he has become a part of. As the episode goes on, Jesse's mental state continues to deteriorate. He's battling with guilt and regret, forced to look back at his choices and deal with their consequences. And we see the weight of his choices begin to take a toll on his psyche. Toward the end of the episode, we witness a pivotal moment for Jesse as he confronts the man who he likely blames for his recent misfortunes. Welcome to the first installment of Life, Death, and Dope Boys Intermissions, exploring Jesse Pinkman's turmoil. First off, we see Jesse struggling with the aftermath of his confrontation with his parents, as they have revealed to him that they've discovered a meth lab in his basement and are willing to take legal action unless he vacates the home, effectively evicting him. Their rejection and apparent disdain for him heighten his feelings of loneliness, isolation, and anger. It's a heavy burden to bear. The absence of Jesse's father's involvement after this point speaks volumes. It's implied throughout the series that Jesse has had a difficult relationship with his parents, but especially his father. This strained relationship could lead to a breakdown in communication and a lack of open dialogue between them. If their interactions had been negative or confrontational in the past, Jesse's father might have been hesitant to approach him about the eviction directly. If he anticipated that informing Jesse about the eviction could lead to an emotional outburst or an argument, he might have chosen to communicate through his wife instead. This might have been an attempt to avoid worsening their already tense relationship. Family dynamics can be complex, and communication patterns are established over time. If Jesse's father historically relied on Jesse's mother, aunt, or others to facilitate communications or decisions regarding Jesse, he might have continued that pattern without realizing it and subconsciously cemented it as his primary communication style with his son. Jesse's father might not fully understand the emotional impact of this short-notice eviction on Jesse. He might view it as a practical matter and not realize the extent to which it affects Jesse's sense of stability and belonging. Jesse, on the other hand, might view it as coercion. Overall, the lack of direct communication from Jesse's father about the eviction could be attributed to a combination of interpersonal dynamics, emotional avoidance, and their strained relationship. This lack of communication serves as another example of the challenges and complexities of Jesse's family interactions, which contribute to his character development throughout the series. Jesse's mother showing up with a whole moving crew to evict him from his late aunt's house despite his attempts to convince her he's changing could intensify Jesse's feelings of betrayal and abandonment. He might interpret this as his mother giving up on him and not believing in his efforts to improve his life. On top of that, his personal belongings are being handled by strangers, and his living situation is being disrupted. This can lead to a feeling of loss of control over his own life. This loss of control can contribute to feelings of powerlessness and distress, not to mention the surge of anxiety and stress that's probably coming from needing to quickly hide the drug paraphernalia and meth from plain sight in the presence of his mother, who has for sure peeped it by now. What did I miss? How long has she been here? What do I have to do to stop this from happening? What does she need to hear? Jesse's sudden outburst of anger at his mother about his deceased aunt, her late sister, reveals a complex mix of emotions he's likely been grappling with for a long time.
What, you think that's okay? Like, oh, we can't let that scumbag warp the mind of our favorite son.
It's like his frustration, pain, and unresolved issues all boiled over in that moment. This outburst could be a result of him feeling abandoned and misunderstood, or genuine righteous indignation regarding the one person who was willing to take him in and give him a chance after he was kicked out of his parents' house. The given situation could make Jesse seem disingenuous, like he's telling her what he thinks she wants to hear.
It was, really big wake call for me. Which is why I wanted to talk to you. I've been thinking real seriously about business school, actually.
But who's to say that Jesse hasn't tried to change? As of 2008, when Breaking Bad premiered on AMC, methamphetamine was the most addictive illegal drug in the world. The rush of dopamine experienced during a meth high is stated to be so intense that it changes the way the brain operates. In the worst cases, without meth, there's an inability to experience pleasure. It's quite a miracle that any meth users manage to recover. Being kicked out of his aunt's house and rejected by his mother could deepen Jesse's sense of isolation and loneliness. He might feel like he has no stable support system or place to call home. This situation could further erode Jesse's sense of self-worth. His mother's actions might make him question his own value and his ability to change for the better at all. He might feel trapped between his desire for approval and his struggle with his own demons.
No, Mom! Hey, where am I supposed to go?
I don't know, sweetheart. But please, turn your life around.
Jesse's lack of a stable support system is further highlighted in his struggle to find a friend who can help him with a temporary living situation while he figures out what he's going to do. Being turned away by people he considered close could worsen his already fragile self-esteem. It makes him a prime target for manipulation and reckless, approval-seeking behavior, themes that Jesse is especially challenged with during the remainder of Season 2, and arguably the rest of the series. Jesse's situation becomes increasingly desperate, as evidenced by his makeshift living arrangement in the RV. This desperation can push him further into risky and impulsive behavior, such as further involvement in the drug trade, or drug use, or stealing back his RV. The experience of sleeping in the RV, having to mask the stench with a gas mask, is dehumanizing. The situation is presented by the writers and showrunners as an all-time low for Jesse. We feel sorry for him. In the climax of the episode, Jesse and Walter engage in a fistfight, which serves as a pivotal moment for Jesse and provides insight into his mental and emotional state. With nowhere else to go, Jesse turns to his business partner, Walter White, with whom he had just shared a frightening and traumatic experience. Jesse's emotional state is likely characterized by a mix of frustration, fear, and betrayal. He's been dealing with a series of setbacks, including being rejected by friends and living in dire, less than sanitary conditions. Walter storms into the RV, livid about Jesse's apparent intrusion in his home and family life. Initially, Jesse reacts to Walter's confrontation apologetically, attempting to explain his situation, but unable to through Walt's yelling.
I cook, but from what I can tell, you are just a drug addict. You are a pathetic junkie, too stupid to understand and follow simple rudimentary instructions.
When Jesse decides that he's had enough, he throws the first punch. The fight with Walter serves as a release valve for Jesse's pent-up anger and feelings of powerlessness. The physical confrontation allows him to express his frustration and lash out at the person he probably perceives as responsible for his current situation. For Jesse, this is an attempt to regain some sense of control over his circumstances. By confronting Walter physically, he's asserting himself in a situation where he often feels manipulated. But despite his anger and frustration, Jesse has a strong moral compass, and he grapples with the ethical implications of his actions. This internal struggle is evident in the fact that he stops just short of delivering a blow to Walter's face, indicating a conflict between his anger and his sense of morality. Walter is merciless. Jesse is merciful. Throughout Down, we delve deep into Jesse Pinkman's internal struggle, witnessing the complexities of his character unfold right before our eyes. It's a raw and unapologetic journey that showcases the incredible talent of actor Aaron Paul. Thank you for watching this exploration of Jesse Pinkman's turmoil in Season 2, Episode 4 of Breaking Bad. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel for more insightful analyses of your favorite TV shows and movies. Rest in peace, Wes.